RayGun has finally given an official statement on her performance at the Paris Olympics, and surprise, surprise, she's the victim. I mean, I knew she would admit that she was awful or she was outmatched, because breakdancing is Rachel's baby. Unfortunately for breakdancing, Rachel's the type of mother who smoked a pack a day of Winnie Blues while she was pregnant and severely stunted their growth.
Hi everyone, RayGun here. I just want to start by thanking all the people who have supported me. I really appreciate the positivity, and I'm glad I was able to bring some joy into your lives. That's what I hoped. I didn't realize that that would also open the door to so much hate, which has frankly been pretty devastating.
This just proves she's delusional. I mean, you can't go out there and do what you did and not expect the internet to be, well, the internet. And Chef Demission, which is a dumb fucking name, Anna Mears was disappointed by the criticism too.
What I can say is that I love Rachel, and I think that what has occurred on social media with trolls and keyboard warriors and taking those comments and giving them airtime has been really disappointing.
Well, prepare to be disappointed again, Anna, because you disappointed us first by sending Rachel to the Olympics and embarrassing all of us. I mean, for Christ's sake, we are not a strong dancing country. We learnt the Nutbush and the Macarena and we said, that's it. Those two dances will cover any occasion you have in your lifetime. But it's not Rachel's fault because we don't know her story.
If you don't know Rachel's story, in 2008, she was locked in a room crying, being involved in a male-dominated sport as the only woman, and it took great courage for her to continue on and fight for her opportunity to participate in a sport that she loved.
Okay, that sentence needs more context. I mean, who locked her in there? Is that how she got into breakdancing? Did she just develop the worst case of Stockholm Syndrome with her male-breaking captors? Also, 2008, that's 16 years. What the fuck have you been doing? Would you spend the first 4 perfecting the sprinkler? I would expect a little bit more from someone who's had 16 years of training. This is the problem with Rachel though. She's a professional victim. I mean, she was completely blindsided by all the criticism for her performance because she genuinely thinks she's good at this. And anyone who says contrary, well, she goes and publishes a thesis on it like this. Deterritorializing gender in Sydney's breakdancing scene, a B-girl's experience of B-boying. Which is basically just her saying, I'm a woman competing with a lot of men. Wah. Not a doctor, not a sport. Also, if you'd like to know how much of your tax dollars go to RayGun's research each year, it's roughly about $56,000. The problem is she's surrounded by people like Anna Mears who just reiterate the notion that the only reason she's copping criticism is because she's a woman.
Now you look at the history of what we have had as women athletes has faced in terms of criticism, belittlement, judgment, criticism, and simple comments like they shouldn't be there.
Look, I'm not here to argue whether she is or isn't our best breakdancer, but if she is, I'll definitely argue that we just shouldn't have been there. Also, Anna, shut the fuck up with the whole you can't criticise female athletes. Did you notice she said that twice?
In terms of criticism, belittlement, judgment, criticism.
I mean, athletes get criticised all the time. Just because you're female doesn't give you a pass on that.
Well, I went out there and I had fun. I did take it very seriously. I worked my butt off preparing for the Olympics and I gave my all, truly.
No, you didn't. You did the sprinkler for fuck's sake. I mean, what training could you have possibly done? What did you spend hour after hour, day after day, just down Taronga Zoo studying the movement of kangaroos so you could perfect that stupid fucking hop? Also, dishing up that performance and then telling everyone how hard you worked doesn't make us feel any better.
In regards to the allegations and misinformation floating around, I'd like to ask everyone to please refer to the recent statement made by the AOC, as well as the posts on the Ozbreaking Instagram page, as well as the WDSF Breaking for Gold page.
Okay, so in RayGun's defense, there has been a bit of misinformation spread here. I mean, there was a petition with like 50,000 signatures asking her to apologise and claiming that her husband was the judge that sent her through to the Olympic finals, which has come out that it's completely false. Yeah, apparently on the day, she legitimately qualified from the dancers that were there. Now, whether the competition was set up so that, you know, it could offer an opportunity to the best dancers in Australia, well, that's where it gets a little bit murkier. While I'm defending RayGun though, I do have an opinion that's pretty controversial. I liked the uniform. I did though, I liked it. I thought it looked like a cricket uniform, and I thought it was kind of cool that, unlike all the other dancers, you could tell what country she was from until she started dancing, and I was like, oh, how do we pin this one on New Zealand? But that also should be a red flag that it's not a cool outfit if I like it. I mean, I am not a fashionable guy. And it also seems like if you had a PhD in breaking, you would have known not to wear that. I also like the little sledges that she would do, like, you know, while the other dancers were out there completely obliterating her, she'd like yawn and stuff like that. I thought that was very Australian. Or were they? Because according to Rachel, it was a bit closer than the media are making out.
Bit of a fun fact for you. There are actually no points in breaking.
Really? Because it looks like there are.
If you want to see how the judges thought I compared to my opponents, you can actually see the comparison percentages across the 5 criteria on Olympics.com. All the results are there.
As per Rachel's suggestion though, I went to Olympics.com to look at the scorecards, and here you can see they almost all unanimously voted against you. The only category she won anything in was in originality, and it was by the slimmest of margins, but most of them were absolute clean sweeps. Anyway, all I can say is that her performance was the perfect visual representation for how shit these Paris Olympics are. And at the end of the day, she didn't get a free trip over there, she paid for it with her dignity. Anyway, I think the move for Rachel would just be to admit that she was in over her head and that the breaking community is stronger than she realised. I mean, it'd be a lie, but it gives some sort of solace to the 26 million Australians that she embarrassed. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments, and until the next video, ta-ta and farewell.
Ta-ta and farewell.